Okay, this is probably one of the easiest choices that we've ever had. And to kind of give you an indication of how busy this person is, we were worried that they might not be here today because he is about the business of giving back to the community. And it's, when you talk about this guy, that's the bottom line, giving back to the community. And he was born in 1946, very good year, same year. Nebraska City, Nebraska. By the way, I've happened to have gone through that place. It's a slice of Americana. It is a beautiful, beautiful city. Stayed there 4 times. I was going back and forth to my duty station, which was in North Dakota. And about 4,000 people. Don Glockel, you know who I'm talking about. In 1964, he joined the Navy and was an electrician in the USS Warden. He did 2 tours in Vietnam, 1966 and 67. In 67, he returned to Nebraska City and worked on a survey crew, but then in 68, he moved to the Lake Cities when he heard about the new DFW airport. He didn't end up there. He ended up at what was then Southwestern Bell. Then it went on to Lake Dallas Telephone Company, I believe I'm correct, and then CenturyTel. Don was known as the go-to person for telecommunications for decades in our area. And that was just the beginning. Talk about a volunteer in his local city. It didn't take long. In the early 70s, he became a reserve police officer for the city of Lake Dallas. He volunteered during the evenings. He worked shifts from 10 to 11 for 4 or 5 nights a week. During one point, he was the only police officer in Lake Dallas. He's been extremely active in his 45 years in this community. He is the founder and the current president of the Lake Cities Education Foundation, which is a huge undertaking right there. And again, if any of you have ever gone to the gala, you know Don and all the work that he's done there and all the money that is raised for our educators in this grand community. He's a Booster Club officer for years, 20 years while his kids were in school. He's the main instrument, and that's one reason he was a little late today, was he's got a big shindig tomorrow for our senior citizens. So he may tell you more about that later, I don't know. But it's a huge undertaking, and he's been the prime person to get this thing going for our senior citizens. He also, like I told you, was a U.S. Navy veteran, and he's also been the main spokesperson or the main person that renewed the VFW Hall. And I can connect with that because our Lions Club Casino Night, I've worked with him for 2 years, and I know the volunteer attitude that he has and has helped us. And that place, he has turned that place into a palace, and it's all due to the extra hours and volunteerism that he has. And he's willing to help any veterans all the time. By the way, real quickly, if you are a veteran, past or current, would you please stand, all of you, please. Thank you very much for your service. You know, when we're activities like this, it's really grand to think about the freedom we have to get together and do things like this because of veterans. I mean, they're halfway around the world right now, away from their homes, so that we can enjoy Christmas and the holidays. So thank you, veterans. He's been a member of the Chamber of Commerce for decades, served on various committees there. The last thing, of all these things he's done, to me, his daughter Gail says this about him as a dad. He gave us all 2 lasting bequests. One is roots and the other is wings. He gave us unconditional love and a set of values that he lived, not lectured. Understanding the difference between right and wrong, a belief in God, the importance of hard work and education, self-respect, and belief in America. He's the best dad ever. That says it all right there, doesn't it? And it's my pleasure to introduce to you Community's Best this year, my friend, John Glocker.
Yep.
Well, you can see I dressed for the affair. This is an honor, Larry. Thank you very much. And because Larry was standing, I want to make sure you understand that Larry was also a Vietnam veteran. So I don't have a whole lot to say. Wasn't prepared. I am working on the Golden Acres Christmas Dinner, 35th annual, tomorrow. And a whole lot of you in this room have supported it forever. Richard, I see, is probably goes back as far as Susan. I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody that's been there for years. But there's a lot of other people here in my family. Carrie and her friends have been down there working for the last 3 days. So we expect to feed about 185, 200 senior citizens tomorrow. And that's a big deal. That's more about my heart. Thank you. This is an honor. I appreciate that. So I really don't have anything else to say, but thank you very
Do you need
much.
helpers for tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Okay, what time?
All day. And again,